Okay, you guys. So I am, first of all, super excited to be doing this. Happy Monday. I originally had reached out to my girl squad, and I said I wanted to tag team a training. I wanted to do a leadership Q&A because I think that leadership is one of my favorite aspects of this business. But like one of me and my downline were just talking about, it's almost like more of a feeling. It's something that you have to learn by doing. Okay, we can sit here and give you guys all of these tips, and I promise you these tips and these questions that are going to be asked are off the chain. They are going to help every single one of you so incredibly much with your teams and with your leadership, and I'm so excited to be able to collab with them and bring this knowledge and brain power together. You guys, we are all very different in our leadership, but we are all very similar in our leadership. And what I mean by that is that if you are invited to this Zoom, you have someone above you that loves you and cares about you very, 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 very much. Someone that wants to see you sit on that white couch, someone that wants to see you make $32,000 a month. You are in the right place with the right leaders, and we want to teach you how to take what we've learned, how to take what we have done and create it on our teams. And we want to share that with you so you can create that same community and that same love and, work together relationship that we've been able to create. So I've got 2 questions per person. Super excited. I'm going to let baby mama go first. And you guys, I have really tried with these questions. I'm pulling the strengths of each one of these girls out because I want you guys to get the best of the best tips when it comes to leadership. So hopefully, let me unmute you.
Oh, hi.
Okay, so you guys, these questions are kind of all over the place. There's no real flow, but they're all really good questions. So I wanted to talk to Hope, first of all, because I want her to take us from the very beginning. You sign up a brand new distributor and you're super excited. You know her why. You've obviously talked to her about this business. She signs up. Can you give us some examples of how you start creating that trust and that relationship and that community right off the bat? Number one, how do you start creating that friendship and relationship?
Yeah, so let me know if you can hear me or if I get spotty at all because I'm running on cellular, not Wi-Fi. So I just, first off, you need to be getting on the phone with your new people. And I know that even when you're new or when you're a new leader, you feel like, well, what do I even say or how do I even, you don't need to know what to say except for just to be a friend, like Allie said. So the reason that I'm getting on the phone with my new people is not so I can walk them through, how to go Ruby in 30 days. I'm getting them on the phone because the very first thing that I say is, hey girl, thank you so much for being willing to get on the phone with me. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling about all of this? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you how are you? And then I just close my mouth. And I know that if you know anything about me, this is the hardest thing ever for me to do because I love to share about this business. I love to talk about this business. I'm so passionate about it. That's why I signed so many distributors. But at the end of the day, if you want somebody to trust you, you need to be a good listener. And so that very first phone call, I'm taking the first 5 or 10 minutes to figure out what are they nervous about? What are they feeling about this business right off the bat? If they come at me and they're like, oh my God, dude, I'm so excited. What do I do next? Then I move them into okay, so you're going to start reaching out to people. You're going to start posting. You're going to start adding people. If I get on the phone with them and they're kind of quiet, if they seem pretty nervous, if they're yeah, I kind of want to wait for my starter kit to get here. You get such a good first impression with somebody being on the phone with them. And I know for those of you that have a busy schedule, don't feel like you need to spend this hour-long phone conversation with your new distributors. 10, 15 minutes tops, just so they can hear that you care about how they're feeling about it. And you can decide right at that point, okay, this person is stoked, she's ready to run, I'm going to give her everything I've got. Or they're nervous. They're I don't really know about this. I don't really know you. I don't really know this opportunity. And at that point, I take the time to really talk to them about the things that held me back in the beginning or the things that I've been through and just how consistency, make sure they're keeping open communication with me. And I think that that's kind of the last piece that I would say to this, is that if you're serious about building a close-knit team, if you're serious about being good friends with the distributors that you sign up and having them stick around for a while, they need to know two things. The first thing they need to know is that they're a beginner. They're a beginner, which means they do not know how to do this. And like, people all the time, they're like, I feel like I suck at this. And I'm like, can I be honest with you? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you do suck at this. And that sounds so like negative, but I'm not trying to be negative. Yes, you suck at this. You're brand new. You don't know how to do this yet. That's why I'm here. That's why you're sending me screenshots. That's why you're in the pages. That's why you're in the chats. That's why you have your e-suite, your website, your product coach. Like, no one expects you to be an expert on day one. So I try to make them super comfortable with this idea of like, you're right. Like, you're not very good at this right now. Good news for you is I'm really good at this. And I bring in my own self-confidence and I say, the good news is I'm really good at this business and I love this business. I'm going to be here with you every single day. The second thing that new people need to know is just, they're not alone. You know, I feel like every single one of us who, before we even start this business, you're like sitting on the outside of this crew, this like squad of It Works people. And you think that you're so different and you don't think that there's anybody who's like you. And part of that is personal development. And I'm sure we'll get into that, you know, as we get into this Zoom, the importance of personal development as a leader, but also for your new people, like, they need to know that there is somebody just like them who's successful in this company, whether or not it's you. I don't know. You know, I signed up a lot before I was an expecting baby mama. I signed up a lot of moms and they didn't relate with me because I was like a college student and like a dog mom. And so you just want to make sure that you are doing things like this, where you're connecting your team with all different kinds of leaders and sharing the Show Me the Money calls and sharing the family calls, and so they can get plugged in with really like what the culture of the company is. Because I feel like so many times people quit before they even get started simply because they feel like they're the only ones, right? Everyone's telling me no. Like, they feel like that's all them. And I'm like, no, everyone gets told no. Like, everyone is bad at this in the beginning. So kind of just like calling them in to the tribe, to the squad, to the culture of your team, and making sure that you're taking that time to really listen and kind of train them accordingly. I know on my team, we literally have like a 10-step, like, here's the first 10 things you do when you get started. But depending on the person, I'm going faster or slower. If they say that like they're super, super nervous, I'm not going to tell them to go message right off the bat. That's going to scare the crap out of them and they'll probably never end up doing anything. But if I have somebody who's like, they signed up and they're like, what do I do? I want to get my customers. Like, I'll be like, let's text your mom. Like, does your mom want to buy some stuff? So you kind of just have to really get a good feel for where their energy levels are at and match them, and don't get freaked by the ones that are not at like a high energy level, because like over half of like the rubies and above on my team right now are people who for the first 6 months like they didn't seem like they were like rock stars. They weren't like super passionate. They weren't like out there every single day. So just meeting people where they're at, and just taking yourself out of it. I think that's all I got for that
that
question.
was so good. And I think that, you know, it's true. It is, you can feel someone's vibe so much better over the phone. It is very hard. I mean, yes, we can build relationships with voice messaging in our words through our text and all that stuff, but like, there's something so personal about getting on the phone. All right, so we've got a teammate and everything's great. And I don't think that these people on the Zoom would understand how many times we've called each other crying because someone quit our team, because we are so dang emotional. It's something that you have really, really learned to work through. And I have seen so much growth in you from how much it really used to bother you to where you are now, where you can accept it and respect it. So can you talk to me a little bit about what happens when someone quits your team and how to stay away from feeling like it was your fault or like you're guilty? Or
yeah, so I mean, people quit. Surprise. There's all kinds of reasons that people quit, but I think when it comes right down to it, at the end of the day, I think every single one of us could agree that people quit because they don't feel like they're enough of something. They don't feel like they have enough time. They don't feel like they're good enough. They don't feel like they have strong enough people skills, like whatever it is that's making them feel like they're not enough to be successful in this business. And so they decide to quit, they decide to walk away. And just like Ali said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend for 1 second that like people walking away, like it's different ranges, right? Like sometimes you have people who like sign up and then like you legit never hear from them again. Those ones are a little bit easier to let go because it's like, I have no clue what happened. You didn't even get to talk to me, whatever. What I kind of want to touch on is a little bit deeper. Like when you have somebody who joins your team and you're like, oh man, like this is gonna be my rock star. Like this is gonna be the diamond to my double. And they like come onto your team and you work with them super closely. Like, and then at some point, like they decide not to do this or they decide to walk away or take a step back or whatever. The first thing that I want you to do is to really understand that people do like go and like come back. So the first reaction when you're not a developed leader, when you're how I used to be, an angry leader, your first reaction really is to be like, well, screw you. When I'm an ambassador, then I guess you just won't be my presidential. Like it's your first instinct is to get like super salty and like emotional. But like my best piece of advice is to just say like, I care, like, oh, I understand. I care about you. This business is always here for you. I'm always going to be here for you. I'm sorry that you're making this decision, but I know at the end of the day, I can't make you want this. That's what you say to them. If you have more words than that, if you have more pent up emotions than that, you call your best friend and you yell and cry about it a little bit and then you get over it. But remember that these people do come back. These people do come back, not all the time, but they will because of your heart and because of how you treat them going out the door. So that's my first thing. And the second thing that I will say is when you sign as many people as I have, and this is not tooting my own horn, and this is like statistics, like I signed 70 distributors in the first 90 days of 2019. And when you sign that many people, there is just people who are not going to stick around. It wasn't the right time for them. They joined because it was only $20. Hallelujah, that $99 signups are back. It's them, it's not you. And the way that I know this at the core of my being, and this is how you have to get. I treat every single new distributor the exact same. I just told you guys on my team, we literally have a 10-step. Like first, here you log into your eSuite. Here's how you get your customers. Now we have you make a post. Now we have you, add to this page. Now we have you. It's the exact same for every single person. So I've got one girl the same day. 2 people will sign up the same day. One girl is like blasts through her first 10 steps in 24 hours, gets her first customer in a week. 3 weeks later, this other girl who joined the same day is like in my inbox being like, I just didn't really feel supported by you. Like, I know that she got everything that she needed because this other girl is taking it and running with it and being successful at it. So you just need to get some kind of system down for yourself. And it can literally be as simple as, hey, make sure you log into your eSuite. Let's get up your first post. Okay, here's some messages to send out. But if you know for a matter of fact that you are doing the exact same thing with every single person that you sign up, they have the same page, they have the same chat, they have the same leadership, they have the same training, they have the same website, same product, same eSuite, and they decide to quit, that is 110% on them. And I can fully embrace and say that I know because I can put 2 people who sign up the same day on my chart, and one of them will go Ruby in 60 days and one of them will quit in their first 3 weeks. And it has nothing to do with me because they have the exact same things. It's all up here. So get yourself some kind of good system so that you can feel confident in that, confident in your, how you're training people. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and then, this is an emotional business and I am an emotional person. This little dude being in here makes me 7 times more emotional. So yeah, sometimes I get upset. Sometimes I want to cry, but make sure that you're not doing that in front of your team. Make sure you're not doing that in front of the person who's leaving. Find a trusted squad or go to your upline and scream and cry, but put that good face on of, I care about you. I want you, I want you to be on this team. I will always be here for you. because I've had like 5 or 6 people, you guys, just in the last 2 months, like who quit, like come back to me and say like, hey, like I've been watching you and like I think I was wrong. I think I want to do this again. So you just have to hold a lot of grace in your heart for people and just realize that this business is a journey, and sometimes really gnarly stuff does really happen to people. And so if you can just be that friend and be that heart-centered person, like people will always remember how you made them feel, you know? So yeah, I think that's all
That
I've got
was
on that
so,
one.
I'm like, yeah, girl, yeah, no, because it's true. I think that like it comes down to that we all have come to the point at this point where we understand that not everybody is going to work. I mean, numbers wise, we know that. And I think that the sooner you can get confident in, like you said, how you train them, how you get them started, how you communicate with them regularly, that organization, you guys, it's just, this is so funny. I was just telling my team, I'm like, it's like you have chickens and one day you have like 3 later you wake up and you have 200 chickens and they're running up.
And you're like, why? Who get to put all these damn chickens in here? I gotta run all of them.
Like you come over here.
And then it's like one hops the fence and you're like, well, crap. I've still got 199 chickens to deal with. I can't deal with that one. And it's not, and I think that's, you know what, I will add on just this last piece. And this is my little bit of that like fiery red coming out. And that's let them freaking leave, you guys. Let them leave. Every single time that I have like battled with somebody about whether or not they should stay working their business, they end up leaving. They're halfway out the door already, and you're like, no, you're my third leg for Ruby. Like, I need you. No, you don't. Empty boxes are potential. You deserve somebody who wants to be on your team. If somebody does not want to be here, for the love of God, just let them leave. It's a time suck on you. It's an energy suck on you. It's an energy suck on them. And like I said, I have spent, you guys, just take it from me. I have spent so many 20, 25, 30-minute long conversations with people on the phone, like trying to like get and like explain to them that like it doesn't take a lot of time. And then like 2 days later, like they still want to quit. And so it's like, I could have spent that 30 minutes talking to new people or talking to somebody on my team who's serious about this and pouring into them. So don't argue with people. Like it doesn't help you. It doesn't help them. Nobody's going to feel better at the end of the day. There is a difference between somebody coming to you and saying they're feeling discouraged and somebody coming to you and being like, I think I need to quit. Like, huge difference. I can work with discouragement all day long. Like, if you come to me and you're like, I'm struggling, this and that, but I want to get better, like, we can work with that. But if somebody in your downline comes to you and is like, I quit, like, please save your precious time, be a good friend, meet them where they're at, and then like go find some people, some different people.
That's so good.
For real.
Thank you. I appreciate you the absolute most. Let me find Miss Chrissy. Oh, there she is. I keep thinking she's wearing camouflage, but she's not. I'm like, are you going hunting? Oh, wait, you don't live in the South. Okay. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
All right. I've got my questions up, and I really feel like I should get a microphone, and we should all get one, and then when it's our turn, we'll hold it. So like, it'll look like we're passing it, you know? I'll put it on my to-do list.
At this point, we really should.
Okay. All right, you guys. So my first question is, when it comes to being a leader, as someone going triple diamond, you obviously have emerging leaders on your team and established leaders on your team. What would you say the top 4 qualities are that you look for in someone that we would consider leadership, even if it's just someone that just went Ruby or someone that's working on going Ruby? What are the qualities of leadership that you look for?
Okay. So guys, disclaimer, Allie asked me this hours ago. And I'm like super green. So I literally made a list because I literally didn't want to miss any of these qualities because they're just so important. Bottom line is, like, if you had a team of all of you, like, and it was the best team ever, like, what does that team look like? What just qualities about you do you have that you're like wanting on your team? Okay. So somebody that I consider a leader as somebody that's always setting the pace for their team and leading from the front. We've literally been doing this since like kindergarten, you guys. When there's a line leader, if the person who's leading the line is walking really fast, the whole line is going to walk really fast. If the person in front is running like Miss Smith is sprinting after like that 5-year-old to like try and catch them. But if the line leader is like one of those kids that's like not moving, like whatever, the line is not going to move. And then the teacher's sitting there screaming like, come on, Johnny, like we got to get to lunch. Like, hello, you need to be setting the pace of your team. And this goes for like every single aspect of this business. So, I like have an Excel sheet. Okay. You need to run an auto ship. You literally need to run your auto ship. You guys, you join this business to get paid. By running an auto shipment, you are guaranteeing that you are getting paid. It is an insurance policy on your paycheck. I don't care that it costs money. I literally don't. It costs money to get to a 9-to-5 too. It costs money to fill your gas tank. It costs money to like get lunch every single day. Like it costs money to have a 9-to-5, to have a uniform, to do all the training. If you need to get, let's talk about the 80 grand I dropped on 2 degrees to get a job. Real expensive. $80 to $100 a month on 2, maybe 3 products to use either yourself or sell if you want. For the company that you're working for is not like a huge sacrifice or like a financial issue by any means. I would 110,000 million% rep one company with products that I'm obsessed with and use the products, like drive the car you're selling, then ever get my butt in my car and drive 40 minutes to Troy, like ever again, and put like $50 in my gas tank every like week and a half. That's just something I'm not down with. So you need to be running your auto shipment. If you want your team to be running their auto shipments, if you want your teams to get paid and not come to you on the 8th of the month and be like, I don't know why my prelim says I owe the company 50 cents. Then you need to be running your auto shipment. I would never, ever, ever tell my team to to not run their auto shipment because I am so committed to running mine. Okay. So, and then this also goes for showing up to team trainings. If you want your teams to get on Zooms, you need to be getting on Zooms. I tell my team this all the time. I would never tell them to do something that I'm not willing to do. That's why I'm literally not in my team chat, like get Facebook Live, because like, you'll probably never catch me Facebook Live. But like, I'm not going to tell them to go Facebook Live if that's not something that I'm willing to do too. Not saying that like, I would never go Facebook Live, because I'll get to this other point. This is another quality that I have to go over next. But just showing up, like if you want your team to show up, you need to be showing up. And then comes with enrollments. All the time I hear like emerging leaders say, like, well, my team's not enrolling. Like no one's getting customers, no one's getting distributors. Okay, when was the last time you enrolled a customer? When was the last time you enrolled a distributor? Are you doing the work too? Are you finding things that work for you and sharing that with your team? Or are you just kind of like hoping, living on a prayer, waiting for someone on your team to like explode? You know, you have to be like I said before, setting the pace of your team. You should always be the top enroller on your team. If you are the top of your team, if you're the leader, you should always be the top enroller. And okay, my final bullet was not telling your team to do anything that you aren't willing to do. So we already went over that. Okay, that was the first thing. Second thing is somebody who takes initiative and doesn't wait for someone to tell them what to do and just goes ahead and does it. The biggest growth that I saw in my business after I left my job and I decided I was just running full time, I gave myself a time period of 8 weeks to go diamond. And I didn't wait for like permission from my upline to like do a Zoom with my team. I didn't wait for permission from my upline or from anyone to make a team page, to make a team chat, to start doing contests, to whatever it was. I just knew that like I was excited and I wanted to create momentum and I wanted to be excited with my team and I wanted my team to be excited with me and to work with me. And I was just ready to do whatever it took to like get them hyped, to get them excited, to give them what they needed. You know, like there's no like clause like in our like, you know, I don't know, like E-Suite or whatever that says like, you can't run a Zoom until you're diamond. Like, no, someone had to run a Zoom first at some point. Like Zoom's just an app, you guys. This isn't even like It Works related. Anyone can use Zoom. Like it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a certain level. Like you are, you know, if you're on the Zoom and if you're excited about your business, I don't care if your little sticker in E-Suite says that you're a distributor or says that you're an ambassador diamond. Everyone is in this business. We are all equal. No one's better than anyone else. We're all here. We all have one common goal. You do not need to wait for permission from anyone to do your thing. Okay. So always just showing up that. Okay. Point 3, someone who understands that they don't know everything. This is what I was getting at before with the Facebook Live thing. Leaders, like true leaders, will absolutely never say that they know it all. Billionaires read like, what is it, like 2 books a week or something? I don't know. Like they're always trying to learn more. They understand that they're not perfect. They don't know everything. You can always change at any time what it is you're doing. Dude, if you guys saw the way that we used to post 3 years ago, like thank God like a change was made somewhere, you know? Just understanding that you don't know everything. Somebody may have joined your team a week ago and they might have a better answer for something than you do. And that's okay. I freaking love when my team comes in my chat and tells me something, or like shares a post or shares like a tip or something that they're doing. I'm like, such a good idea. Like I need to do that too. You know what I mean? Like just always understand that you have so much more to learn. And you have so much more room to grow, and just understanding that like you're not too good. Oh my God, Allie said this the other day. You're not too good to be a beginner at something. Resonated with me like my entire day. Like it's so good. Like guys, I've never gone Facebook Live, and like I probably wouldn't be that good at it if I went Facebook Live. I'd probably be like a nervous, like sweaty mess. But like I'm not too good to be a nervous, sweaty mess on Facebook Live. Like I just might have to do it like, I don't know, after like a margarita or something, but I'm just saying. Okay. And then my last point is somebody who just does not make excuses. Okay. You are a leader because you didn't make excuses. Like you are in a leadership position because you didn't put anything else above your business. So you're kind of already there, but you will reach a point in your business where maybe things start to plateau, and you start to get to a point where you're like, okay, well, something gonna happen, like I don't know, like my team, like they're just doing their thing, I'm just doing my thing, like there's no real momentum, there's no real growth or whatever, and you just kind of like stay really steady, and maybe you start making excuses. Maybe you start getting a little bit lazy. Maybe you start sending out less messages because, you know, you make enough money. The $2,000 you bring in a month is enough. No. A leader never, ever, ever, ever makes excuses, okay? Like, you need to understand that there is nothing more important during your day if this business is your number one, and your why is, well, okay, your why is your number one. Your business is what's going to get you to accomplish that. So you need to understand that, like, okay, is like sending 50 messages a day, like not important enough for you to like be able to feed your babies or be able to teach your team how to feed their babies? I don't know. I've never been one to like make an excuse for my business after I went full time with this. So I just wouldn't expect my like perfect leader to ever make excuses. That is such a lame thing to do, just straight up. Like if you, care about your business, and this is like, run your auto ship, show up to team trainings, set the pace to your team. Don't, tell your team to do like everything that you're doing, but like, you can't be telling your team to do things that you aren't willing to do too. And then just never making excuses for all of the above.
No, that's so good. And I recently just had, I said in my team chat, I said, I have this thing where, if I say, okay, I'm getting on Power Hour at 4:15, I don't want to hear from the 8 people who can't get on Power Hour because they're at work. I get it. You're at work. I don't expect you to get on Power Hour. It's a legitimate reason not to be there. You do not need to come in the chat and tell people you're not doing something. Like, that's not that vibe we want in our chat. And I think that's the same thing. Like, we understand that there's life and that things happen and you have work and school and all these things. And she's not saying, like, it works or die. She's saying that, like, there is a level we all have where we can call ourselves on our excuses. The ones that are legit because we're at work or at school, or the ones because we're watching Netflix and we're half on a training but not showing our faces because we're not actually really listening type thing. So, okay, my next question, and this is going to be a good one because I think this is something that it's when you're a mass enroll of distributors and you start growing your team fast, and especially now with these new charts where you only need 3 people on your top line, there's bound to be, I know for most of us leaders on here, we have never had someone placed underneath us, but we have placed a lot of our team. So Chrissy, can you talk me through, if you were to have your upline place a distributor underneath you, how would you go about building a relationship? And then I also want you to talk about, now that you are going triple, and for those of us that are working on Emerald and Diamond, they may have teammates enrolling teammates. how do they go about creating those relationships with people they didn't enroll but are on their team?
Okay. So like straight up, guys, there is no shame in getting people placed into you. Like if someone is going around saying like, well, I've never been placed under, like that's awesome. Like that's great. But like, it's nothing to write home about. It just means that like their upline probably wasn't a mass enroller, which is okay. We're not all mass enrollers. So like, I know it happens a lot on my team too. Like when we're placing people under each other, we just kind of like implement like layered leadership in a way. So this is what like pretty much goes down. Like if somebody was placed under my team, like just because they didn't like press submit on my website, it doesn't make them any less on my team. Like they're on my team, they are there. And just because they were moved there doesn't mean like doesn't make them any less my teammate. So I just treat them as if I enroll them. Okay. I'm like lending a helping hand to these people. I remember when I first joined, I was placed under someone and I was reached out to by my upline and the girl that she placed me under. And if anything, I just felt like even more comfortable because I felt like I had even more support, and just like more love coming my way and like more hype. And like I had more like people to ask questions to, and I had more, like different brains to like bounce ideas off of. So if somebody was placed under me, like just treating them like they're your own. Like you ever see like a homeless like puppy and like the mom just like adopts it because she's like, whatever, I didn't birth you, but like I'm here to help. Like it's the same exact concept. Like they're our baby, they are on your team. Like, you know, and I've also seen it kind of like in a reverse way where on my downline, like maybe someone gets enrolled that I didn't enroll and I just see them like popping off in the team chat and I'm like, I need to like know this person. Like I need to make sure that they know that I'm here for them, and like always reaching out to those people too. Just because you didn't enroll them, again, not necessarily that they were placed under you, someone under you enrolls them, but just because you didn't enroll them doesn't make them any less your teammate. I've reached out to tons of like rock stars on my team that I haven't enrolled. And basically I've just given them my tips too, because if they're already doing amazing, my help can only, you know, like bring them further. And like I was saying before, you join this business because you want to make money. And I mean, all of us, I mean, I'm sure most of us join with a really small goal in mind, but like, who wouldn't want to add an extra zero to like their goal, like money amount a month, you know? And your help and your support, that's only going to, you know, make that goal happen quicker for them. That's only going to make them feel more supported. Yeah, just because somebody gets placed on you doesn't make them any less your teammate, doesn't make them any less important to your team. You're just adding like more support to them. You're literally just like helping them more. So yeah, just treating them like your adopted baby.
Yeah, no, I think and it kind of goes off of what Hope was talking about, how she gets them on the phone, because I've had people that sign up and they enroll 3 people and then they disappear, but the person they enrolled is a freaking rock star. And like you said, I'm like, all right, well, their upline, has come and gone. They're not helping them. They need help, like I'm here as a leader to help them. And when you can get on the phone with someone, like Hope said, and really start to connect, it's not so much a like, hey, let me just help you. Let me just teach you how to do host to post. But it's learning about, well, what are your fears? What are you struggling with? What can I help you with? So I appreciate you the most, Chrissy. Thanks for sharing. That bullet point was so good. I'm so glad you did that. And I'm so glad you're green. Okay. I appreciate you. I am hopping over to Miss Haley Price. I have to find her. Let me see. Let me do my scroll. Oh, here we go. Oh, Miss Haley.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You're like literally right off. You guys went to the beach? Is that where you're coming back?
We just got back like an hour ago. So.
All right. So first of all, you guys, we are just very blessed to have her presence, because I would be like in the shower heading to bed. Listen, Haley's going triple for a reason. So I have got 2 questions for you. And the first one I think is really good because your team is killing it. I know that you have people on your team that I know have been working on some promotions for a while, and to see them hit those promotions, and I mean, it's really cool because it's like, oh my God, like I know she's been working on it for so long. So I want you to tell me, when you have someone on your team that comes in and they're set up for Ruby and they're set up for Emerald and they're fired up, can you give me some examples as a leader? How do you be their biggest cheerleader? How do you hype them up? How do you shout them out? How do you make them feel like they're capable of hitting their promotion?
Yeah, so I'm really big on just like team recognition, like overall at every level. And I don't know, I just always want my team to know how much I believe in them. Like that's important to me because sometimes they don't have anyone else in their life who does believe in them. So I'm always like shouting people out, honestly, for anything, like in our chats or, hi, Katie. Katie just went diamond, you guys. Like in the chats or the pages or whatever. So literally for anything, like if it's enrollments, if somebody's just like sending out a ton of messages, I'm always posting like how close people are to their promotions. And I communicate with my team a lot. So every single day I'm messaging them and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're this close. Like, let's get this done today. Like helping them set goals and just like always letting them know that I'm there to support them, help them with literally anything they need. And I do just try to be like their biggest cheerleader and just be so excited about every little thing that they do. Like I said, whether it be, you know, an enrollment or just if they're out there hustling, like maybe you don't have a day where you enroll 1 million people, but I don't know, like I think you deserve a shout out if I know you're just grinding all day. So just simple things like that really goes a long way. And I'm always like posting about my top enrollers, and usually I do a Zoom every month with my top enrollers, even if they're, you know, distributor level, like whatever it is. So just things like that, just constantly creating kind of that community on your team.
No, that is so good. And I think that I've noticed lately, I've been trying as a leader, as speaking from someone who's always trying to get better, I've been trying a lot lately. Like when I do see a post, I stop what I'm doing. And even if it's just, you know, I love that public recognition. Don't get me wrong. I want everyone to know that I'm killing it. But I think too, as leaders, for maybe some of you guys that maybe you are working on Ruby and you only, you know, have 4 people on your team right now, you don't have to shout out the same 4 person, you know, every single day. Just send them a text or send them, you know, or a YouTube video that you know that you watched and it helped you, and like just something that lets them know. Like, I think that's a really big thing that some people struggle with because maybe they're not so outgoing. And maybe like, you know, Christy said, and Hope said, like, maybe they do kind of struggle with people skills, but you don't have to rent an airplane and fly a sign over their house. A simple text message like, hey girl, because when people are new, like they don't come in all the time and enroll 47 loyal customers in their first month. So they don't know how to gauge that. They're like, am I doing good? Am I doing bad? Was that post okay? Nobody liked it. Like, and so it's our job to let them know, hey girl, I saw that post. It was on point. Killed it. Yeah. Do that again.
And also, like, we all have different personalities. So some people feed more on the public recognition and some people prefer like the one-on-one stuff more. So I just try to do a combination of everything for everybody.
That's so good. Okay, so second question, dun, dun, dun. And Chrissy kind of touched on this, the dreaded word, management mode. We've all been there as leaders, and maybe some people on this Zoom are in that point right now. And can you kind of talk to me about what management mode is, what happens to your team when you're in it, and how you would get yourself out of it?
Yes. Okay. So management mode is basically the opposite of leading from the front. So to me, that means like, I'm sitting on my booty, not doing anything, but I'm going to go tell you what to do. So it's literally like telling your team that they should be posting and sending out messages and getting on trainings, and you're not doing any of those things. Like you're literally just being a manager. Like think of any 9-to-5 job that you've had and your manager just tells you what to do. And like, seriously, you guys, I've had a lot of jobs before it works. And you want to know the most frustrating part? They're telling you what to do, but they're never like out there helping you. So, it's just like the opposite of being a coach, and it's really bad for your team because like people are going to sense that. Like they know if you're not out there doing what you're supposed to be doing, like they're going to know if you're just telling them what to do, and it doesn't help anybody. Like they're not going to be successful. You're not going to be successful, and it's not going to get you anywhere. And especially when you are like diamond and above, I do think that we've all been there to a certain extent, but like if you stay there, you're going to kill your business. Because like first of all, when you're leading from the front, like the beauty in that is that you're out there, like you have this vibe that you can't fake. Like you just can't. Like it's this thing that washes over you when you're out there hustling and killing your business, and your team picks up on that and then they can go do it too. But also, like, if you're not in the field, like doing the things, like you're not going to be able to coach them well. Like you can tell them to go post, but like, I don't know, there's no emotion behind that. Like I can't be a good coach if I'm not doing what I need to be doing first. So leading from the front is literally like number one most important thing to me. And I don't really remember like what's the rest of the question.
Well, how did you get yourself out of management mode? And I think that kind of is what you said. Like me and Casey were talking earlier, and she was saying like, if you're a leader, you're leading. If you're standing at the back of the line trying to push people, then yeah, you're in management mode, and that's what it feels like. And you're sitting there lying to yourself, knowing you're not doing what you're supposed to be, trying to get these 10 girls to do what you're not doing. And but the problem, I think what happens too is then that's when burnout comes in. And I believe that burnout, because you don't get burnt out when you're on cloud nine and you're running and you're leading from the front and you're smashing it with loyal customers. You get burnt out when you're not doing crap and you're like not doing crap every day. And then you're like, why am I doing this? So how do you get yourself out of, because it starts with you. So let's say you have a week where your enrollments are kind of like dry and maybe you're not feeling, how do you get yourself that next loyal customer? How do you get yourself back to that place?
Well, also another point, like it really breaks that connection within your team. Like it kind of breaks up that community that I was talking about, because you get like mad at your team. You're like, why are they not doing this, this, and this? And you really need to like take a good look in the mirror, but it makes you kind of resent your team, which it's your fault to begin with. So like, that's stupid, but like, that's where it takes you mentally. And that's something that, you know, takes a lot of work to come back from, but it really does just start with like making the decision. You know, I know it starts with me. Wherever my team is at, wherever my business is at, wherever my paycheck is at, like that's a direct representation of me. That's not an accident. So if you want to know how you're doing, like look at how all the things are doing, because it's what you're doing. So you have to just make the decision, like, I don't like where I'm at. You know, my team's not thriving. My paycheck's not going up. I know their paycheck is not going up. So like, I'm the leader. I have to figure out what we need to do. And you really just have to, you know, it's not a fun moment, but you just have to realize like, I need to get over myself. You just have to get over yourself. And you just really have to go back to basics. You start, you know, putting that emotion behind your post. You start sending out your messages like you're supposed to be. And, you know, just kind of refinding your fire. Like I was talking to somebody, one of my leaders the other day, and it's literally just like a romantic relationship. Like, you know, those feelings that are there in the beginning, they don't just like stay there. Like sometimes that kind of fades away and you have to re-spark that. And it's the same way with your business. Sometimes you kind of lose that passion and excitement that you had in the beginning, and it's up to you. Like you let it go and you let it die and you don't do anything about it, or you make the decision like, this is important to me and I'm going to figure it out. And you just start there and you wake up every single day and you be a really good distributor. Like that's what it comes down to. You can't be a good leader if you're not first being a really, really good distributor. And honestly, that's all leadership really is. It's just being an awesome distributor and teaching other people how to be awesome distributors with you. So yeah, I think it's just going back to the basics in your business. You know, make sure you're doing your own steps of success, and then turn around and literally just teach people, just show them, just like let them come with you. Yeah. And you know, it doesn't happen overnight, but like it's going to fall back into place if you're diligent and consistent with that.
Well, and it's kind of like Chrissy said, she's like, if you're not doing or trying new things, then you're literally just living on hope. You're like crossing your fingers, like maybe my upline will post something my team can use today. And it's like, I personally have gone through something, you know, the past 3 days, and I woke up this morning and I'm like, okay, I need to get my team refocused. And at the end of the day, we had a 30-minute Zoom before this, my Ruby and Above leaders. And I talked for a good 25 minutes about chickens. And it sounds crazy, but you know what? I think I got my point across. And I wasn't afraid to get on a Zoom and talk about chickens for 25 minutes, because that's what a leader is. You're going to try some things, and some things may not work. And some things are going to work really, really well. And when you find the things that work well, you can turn around and teach other people about them. And But if you're just sitting there sending out your 10 messages using host of posts that have been used 3,700 times, how are you going to teach your team? How, you want to be learning new things. You want to be, and that's where personal development comes in. I mean, how are you going to, if you can only say the same thing so many times until you need to grow so that you can start teaching new things. So I appreciate you, Haley, the most. Can't wait to watch you go triple. I'm so excited. And your tan is the you look like you've gotten some sun and it looks good. Like I'm over here like.
I did get some sun, thankfully. I was feeling like a ghost, but I also look like a hot mess because I've been in the car all day. So.
No, yeah, you need like a shower and your bed and some Instagram follows out. So thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to move on over to my girl, Whitney. Last but not least, you guys, I am loving this. I have can we drop something in the comments if you guys are just like, yes, this is everything I needed? Because even I'm like, yes, this is everything I needed. All right, my girl, Whitney. And look at you. You look like you just came back from Mexico. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, I did.
Oh, wait, a little travel bug. Okay, Whitney, I'm always talking to you about your crazy social life and your other side business, and now you're going to compete in the fitness competition, and you are just like little Miss Busy Bee all the time. So I want to know, for my girls that are busy bees too, how do you stay organized with your team? How do you connect with them and make sure that no one's getting left behind, but also you're not available 24 hours a day? So how does that look, work out, feel?
Okay, yeah. So I am I'm sorry. I know that I look confused. It's because my iPad is doing something bizarre right now. So I'm trying to I don't know why it seems like I'm consistently having technical difficulties. I just don't understand. Okay, but I'm just gonna pretend like it all looks fine and I'm just gonna talk. It's cool. Anyway, I'm kind of a hot mess. I am a crazy busy person. I'm 27, almost 28, and I'm single, and I live in the city. So, I don't have any kids and I don't have any pets or anything like that. So I just kind of do my thing. And about a year ago, I decided that I love to freaking travel. So I do. I'm constantly taking trips. I'm always watching flights. I am doing the fitness thing now. I'm doing the fitness competition. So I'm super busy, in the gym all the time too. And I do also have a side hustle that I do outside of It Works. That's kind of just something I do 2 days a week, and it's pretty flexible. It's not really a 9-to-5 type of thing. So it kind of still fits in with my little flow of I'm not breaking up, am I?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So still kind of fits into the flow of the freedom of time and all that kind of good stuff. But for me, I think that living my life is just realistic. Okay, so I think that the best way I can describe how I feel about leadership is that it's just never going to be perfect. Literally every single thing that all of you said was all something that I was like, oh yeah, that's so good. That's such a good idea. No, there's not one specific perfect type of leader. Everybody is a different kind of leader, I could probably have taken 1 or 2 things from every single thing that one of y'all said and be like, oh, I should implement that more. Or, oh, that was a really good idea. You're just never going to be perfect. And everybody's lives are different. Some people on here are diamonds, doubles, whatever, that still have full-time jobs. And some of them are like me and they're, going out and traveling and going to the gym and doing all this good stuff. So I think it's just important to know that everyone in this business leads a different kind of life. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have the means of what it takes to be a great leader, because everybody leads differently, because everybody has different personalities and different lifestyles, and everybody can resonate with people differently. For me, I struggled a lot with leadership because I have a really bad comparison problem. And that's just me being totally honest. I have a really bad comparison problem. I do a lot of personal development and I work on it. It's not it's not like a problem where it's hindering me, but like I do definitely catch myself being like, you know, wondering if I'm doing all the right things or wondering if I'm being a good enough leader. I guess that's more of the comparison. That's my problem, is I'm constantly like asking myself, like, am I good enough, or am I doing good enough, or am I being enough, you know, for my team and stuff like that. So I just think that that's something important to be honest about, because I think it's important to like let you guys know, like, if you are feeling like you don't know what you're doing as a leader, that doesn't mean you're a bad leader. That just means you want to be a good leader, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
For me, I think that leadership to me just means having an open heart and being a kind person and caring about the people that are looking up to you. So am I a perfect leader? No, probably not. Like, is there things that I could probably do more of, or things that I could implement or change or tweak? Yeah, hell yeah. Like, I'm still learning every single day. Like, you're never just going to wake up one day and be like, I am just a perfect leader and I am just going to do this for the rest of my life and I'm never going to have to learn anything else. Like, you're constantly going to be, because your life is constantly changing, and people that are coming into your business are constantly changing, like different personalities and all that kind of stuff. So you're just constantly going to be learning how to make things work. And for me, I think it's just most important to create friendships and real relationships with the people that are on my team and are looking up to me, so that they know that I truly care about them and I want them here and I'm always here for them. I am traveling a lot. I am busy a lot. In the little side job that I do, I'm mostly driving. So like sometimes I can't necessarily like answer my text like right that very second, because I may be like on the freeway or something, but my team knows that like the second that I read it, like I'm gonna respond to them, or that I'm always here to help them, or that if they're having a problem they can always text me and I'm gonna like talk them through it, you know what I mean? And not that I'm saying that I invite like negativity, but sometimes you need to vent, you know, and like my team knows that like if they're having like negative thoughts or if they're having trouble with something or problems, they can always come to me and I'll always talk them through it. So I don't really know what to tell you like about how to be like the very best leader, because I just think that everybody is completely different. But I know for me, if I feel like I'm pouring into my people and I feel like they know that I care about them and that I have their back, and that no matter where I am or what I'm doing or how busy I am, they know that I'm always going to get back to them the second that I can, and they know that I have their best interests at heart and that they have a friend in me, then I think I'm doing a pretty good job. And I have a lot of momentum on my team right now, and I have a lot of girls that are really killing it. And I truly, truly, truly think it's because I am just open and I'm honest and I let them be who they are, and I just love them the best that I can and tell them that they are amazing because they are. And that's what a leader is to me. So that's
No,
basically
I
what I
absolutely, what you just said is like the way that it like hit me was like, no, you know what? Yeah, I mean, yes, you make connections through the messages and you send, you know, the things like, how are you doing? And you care about them. But everything that you just said, all it showed me was that you have shown your team that you are there, that you are loyal, that you are trustworthy, that you support them, that you are open, that your inbox is always open for whatever they need. And that's exactly what I think everybody on here needs to hear. It's not so much about saying the right thing or, you know, teaching them the right host to post. It's about proving through your actions in business that people can trust you, that people can rely on you, and that people can come to you. That I mean, like that was, I'm over here, I got goosebumps. I was like, dang, I wasn't expecting that from that question, but that was like, what a way to look at it, what a perspective. It's, you can be halfway around the world and not have service, and you know what, you might not get back to them that second, but at the end of the day, they know you're going to respond. They know you're going to help them with their problems. And
yeah, I just really, really do think that, because I mean, and like I said, there are times where maybe I can't get to the phone right that very second, but the second that I can, I do, and they're always very understanding. Because, and I'm not saying like I'm not saying like don't answer your team's text, because trust me, unless I just am like on the freeway and literally can't look at my phone, like I'm always answering. So I'm not saying like it's cool, like just tell your team you love them, but you don't really got to answer their messages. Like, no, like I always answer my team. Like I'm always answering my team. But I just think that's so important. And I think it's, so I'm just like a big perspective girl. Like, I mean, I can sit here and tell you how, you know, this is how I train my team, and these are the messages I tell them to send out, and like whatever, and like I can tell you guys all that stuff, but like to me that's not like what makes me a leader. To me the leadership is more like a mindset and a perspective and a love type of thing. So another thing that I just want, like, just that I think is super important, just because it's something that like I have to that I have had to work through too, like just like in my journey in the past, because I've had a freaking roller coaster of a journey of just because, you know, like I said, just being honest, I do have like a comparison problem sometimes. And it's almost like not even a comparison problem with other people, it's with myself. Like I'm constantly like fighting a battle of like, am I doing enough? Am I being good enough? Am I, you know, like whatever. And that's just like me being honest about my freaking personality. But so something that I've just had to like learn in myself that I think is important, that I wanted to share with you guys too, is when you're coming into these leadership positions, like I know some of you kind of already touched on this about, you know, some people are gonna like thrive and some people are not gonna work. Like Hope said, she trains and teaches and communicates with every single person that joins her team the exact same way. So she knows that, like, you know, like she did everything that she could for each and every single person. I love that she said that, because something that like was really hard for me back in the day whenever I was, you know, kind of coming into like my little feel for leadership and stuff, was being discouraged when people weren't working or quitting, and me doing like busting my ass and doing everything I could, you know, to like make my promotions work and stuff like that, and being like, oh, what the heck, like why does nobody want this? Like, am I not a good enough leader? Like whatever. So something that's just like really important to know is it's just exactly like she said. Like some people are going to thrive at this business and some people are just not going to do anything. And that has nothing to do with you as a person, and that has nothing to do with you as a leader. That just has to do with them not believing in themselves. And all you can do is love them and encourage them and try to help them believe. Oh crap, sorry. That's the show me the money call alarm was going off. All you can do is like be there to like love them and encourage them and let them know that you believe in them. But if they choose to not believe in themselves, that's not your fault, and that doesn't make you a bad leader. That just means that they didn't want to receive that. And so I just think it's really, really important to know that too. But yeah, I just think it's the most important thing is, as long as you give encouragement and you pour all the love and care that you have into them, and you just make sure you know that like you're your number one, and like you're always going to have their back, and like you're always going to be there, you know, to talk them through their problems or things that they need to work through, send them personal development if they're down or whatever, then, you know, it's all going to work out in itself. And the people that are meant to be in your business are going to stay, and the people that are meant to be your leaders are going to thrive, and they're going to come up. And as long as you just like love them and encourage them and are there for them, like that's really all you can do.
Yeah, no, it kind of goes off of what Haley said about like at the end of the day, it's 2019. People can tell you're being fake through a mobile device. So if you're not being real with your intentions and you're not making it about the people on your team, I've been there, I've done that. That's why it took me, 7 months to go Ruby, because it was all about me. It wasn't about anyone else. I didn't care about who I signed up. I was just trying to make $500, and it had to click. So I love what you said, because it kind of is very similar to what just happened. I literally got on my team leader Zoom and I was like, let's talk about chickens for 25 minutes. And because I'm not afraid to try new things. And guess what? Some of them may have gotten off and been like, why the heck did Allie just spend 30 minutes talking about chickens? But I don't think that's what happened. I think they were like, oh, that's a really good, I'd never thought of it that way. And I'm not afraid to try new things. And so that's my last question before I close this out is, like you said, it's as much as you're like, I have a comparison problem, you switch that perspective. Like you said, it's no, you care so much about being a good leader for your girls and for those of the people that are on your team and in your life, that you're constantly looking for ways that you can get better, that you can level up. So I know that you are driving a lot and working out and doing all these things, and I know that there's always another YouTube, podcast, book out there. So what are some ways that when you're feeling doubtful or when you're in that moment of, am I doing enough? What are some things that you do or tell yourself to remind yourself, like, no, wait, I am enough. I'm a good leader. I'll be a better leader tomorrow because I'm always getting better. How do you kind of talk yourself through those moments of leader doubt?
Oh my God. Okay. So I really, really love this question because I am like a personal development freak because I battle with my brain every single day, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. You can ask Chrissy because I probably text her 75 novels 75% of the time because and it's normally just me talking to myself and then being like, okay, thanks for listening, bye. But okay, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I think that a lot of times people look up to their leader and think that they just like got their shit together. And like, honestly, it's just, we're all a hot mess. Okay. And it's fine. Like, it's okay. Like, everybody battles like with their own stuff. Okay. I battle with my mindset. Like, I have to work every single day on my mindset. And if you know me and you've had a conversation with me, like, most people are like, oh my God, Whitney is like the most positive person on the planet, because I do portray that. But like inside my brain, like it's a constant battle, bro. Like a constant battle. Okay. And I work through it, and I get the positivity police thing down, man. Okay. But like it's something I literally have to constantly work on every single day because I battle with myself in my brain all the time. And so I am always doing personal development because I'm driving so much. So here's like my little routine kind of that I do. The three most things that like mainly pump me, I'm not gonna lie, I love reading books, and I think that if I'm being honest, I think it's the most effective way to do personal development is reading. But lately I have like no freaking time to read books. So like I haven't read a book this year, which one of my New Year's resolutions was to read 10 books, and I'm already like way freaking behind on that because I haven't read any. But so my main three things that I like probably do for personal development, because I'm so like on the go and going everywhere all the time, is listening to music, which I know doesn't really sound like personal development, but and then like listening to podcasts and YouTube videos. So like basically from the time I wake up until the time like I get to the gym or whatever I'm doing that day, I am just like jamming out. Like I have playlists on playlists, and whatever mood I'm in that day, I put that playlist on and like I jam so that like I'm in like a good mood, because a lot of your mindset just has to do like with your mood. And if you're in a really shitty mood, like your thoughts are going to go all over the place, man. Like they're just going to fly. Okay. So you have to like try to wake up and just like be in good vibes and be in a good mood. And I feel like better things happen, and I'm like more easily I more easily like intake like the personal development or like good like vibes and information and stuff I need to if I'm in like a really good mood and I'm like jamming or whatever. So I'm like always listening to music. That's like kind of a personal development for me. And then when I'm at my little second job, I listen to podcasts. So I either listen to the MFCEO Project, Andy Frisella podcast. By the way, disclaimer, both of the podcasts that I listen to have really bad language, so maybe don't listen to them around children. But one of them is the MFCEO Project, that's Andy Frisella. And then the other one that I've been listening to lately is Manifestation Babe. I had Cheyenne, and yeah, I did a Zoom with Cheyenne. What was that, like a few weeks ago? Yeah. She told me about it and listening to it, and I freaking love it. Mm-hmm. So I have been listening to those two podcasts, and that is like my main form of personal development that I do just to like get my mind right, because I feel like if I'm in good vibes, I can be a good leader, and I can be I can work well. Because it really is all about like perspective and where you are in your mindset. And like, I know that all sounds like rah whatever, but like it's just really friggin' true. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, if I am just like feeling like, I mean, we all get stuck sometimes, right? Like we all have like times where we're just like kind of frozen. We're like, I don't even really know what I'm doing. Like, what do I do with my hands? Like I am holding my phone, but nothing's happening. Like, what the heck? And when I'm feeling like that, I put on any Zoom on YouTube. I just look up somebody that I love on YouTube. Like Carrie Young's a good one. Cheyenne has some really good ones. You know, Jade has good ones. I just look up a leader on YouTube and I'll listen to Zooms in the back, even if I'm just like cleaning my room or something, and I'll just listen to Zooms in the background, because when you are listening to people talk about doing the things that we do in such a positive manner, and even if you're just listening to it in the background, like subconsciously, like you're just going to start feeling better about yourself, and you're going to start feeling better about your business and better about working. So those are kind of like the 3 different things that I do depending on like what I'm doing or how I'm feeling.
No, that is so good. And another thing, this is like another rah, so cliche, like, Allie, you're one to talk, that's about to come out of my mouth. But I was watching Women of Impact on YouTube, and one of the girls, she's a MMA fighter, and she was talking, and she's like, dude, the food that you eat is the fuel for your body. And I'm like, that should be on a doctor's office, like on a poster somewhere. But it is so true. If you are sitting around, I've been guilty promotion months, right? Like I have Matt bring home like 35 chicken nuggets like that. But at the end of the day, sometimes we honestly forget that what we're doing outside of our businesses can have a direct impact on how we feel about leaders, on how we feel about ourselves as a leader and ourselves as a business owner. So that's just one thing too, I think, Whitney, although, you know, personal development / it's also your hobby and passion, but like, you do go to the gym.
You need to take care of yourself.
Yeah, you release
like,
that.
Take care of yourself.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's
real. No, I 110% agree with that. And like, you know me, I could talk about that all day. Like you really do have to take care of yourself. And like, as someone who has been like a freaking so up and down and like my health, whatever, the times I'm at my highest vibes and the times I'm just like in my peak like mindset are when I'm really truly taking care of myself. Like, and you know, I know that like not everyone like gets in the gym every single day. Like, I'm not saying like you're gonna have a shitty mindset if you don't go work out. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying like take care of yourself. Like, take your products like every single day. Like, eat something good for your body. You know what I mean? Just like do good things for yourself. You know, take care of your skin. Use your cleanser. Use your toner. Like, take your greens every single day so you know you're getting your fruits and veggies. Like, just take care of your body, because when you take care of your body, it really, really does help your mindset, like for real. And our products are incredible, and that's what they're for. And that's another thing, and that's another cliche, like be a product of the product, but like really be a product of the product, because you are going to be so much more excited about your business, and you are going to be like so much more excited about what you're doing and believe so much more in it and put that belief out to other people so much more, like your team, when you are really truly loving what you do. And you can't do that unless you're like really loving the products. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, like the past 3 days I've been at my grandma's house and I didn't bring any of my freaking supplements with me or anything. And like my grandma, my mom take some of the products, luckily, so I can just like steal them from them. But like I have just kind of felt really blah for the past few days, and it's probably because I just drank keto coffee for the first time in like 3 times today. And I haven't drank any greens in like 3 days. And it's probably why I'm so blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, our products are freaking crazy. Like, they really do make you feel better. So, like, take care of yourself and put good things in your brain and just, like, jam out. Listen to a podcast, even if you're just, like, doing the dishes or something. Like, your subconscious mind will pick up on so many things, even if you're, like, barely paying attention to it. Like, your brain's still listening. So, just put some good things in your body and some good things in your ears. And just love people. And that's it. Like,
I appreciate you so much, Whitney. You guys, I want to just kind of leave you with something before I hop on off here. I was watching, like I had just said, I was watching a podcast. I mean, it's on a podcast. It's a YouTube channel. It's called Women of Impact. And it's just women sharing really powerful stories. It just totally does something for me. We watch it on my team's Power Hour. And what the girl was saying today, and it was an analogy. You guys know I'm an analogy freak, like, you know, I'm about that life. And she said, have you ever seen a pond that is like, it has all this like mildew on the top, and it's just like this stagnant pond? Like, have you ever been on a hike and you just find this, like, it might not even be bigger than your bedroom, but like a pond, and you're like, that looks disgusting. And it like, it looks like swamp water, and there's like a dead stick sticking out of it, and it's just like this like piece of water, this nasty pond. And then you're on this hike, you see this pond, and then, you know, 100 feet, a football field up ahead, you see this beautiful river, and it is rushing so fast, and it sounds gorgeous, and you get there, and you can kind of feel the water that's spraying off the rocks, and it's this beautiful vision, and it's this beautiful, just like picture perfect thing. And she said it a lot nicer than that, but basically what I'm getting at is, you guys, your business can be a pond, but if it's that pond, it's stagnant. It's not moving. You're not bringing in new people. There aren't people leaving, you guys. That is one of the biggest analogies that has always stuck with me. Your business should be like a river. There should always be new people flowing in, and there's always going to be people flowing out. It's part of this business. There's no getting around it. If you're at a place in your business where no one's coming in and no one's leaving, chances are you probably don't have a lot of momentum, and that's okay. We got together and did this Zoom because we want to teach you guys how to find that lime green heart. That's what I've been talking about. You have to decide that, you know what, this isn't just about me. It's not just about this $200 paycheck I want to make. This is about how I can impact others, I was talking to my team, how we can give back to our communities, what different, you know, things can we do as a team to leave this earth and leave the people that we touch on a daily basis on social media better than we found them. And I think that's what it comes down to, because you can be in this business and you can do the whole, this is about me, this is about my promotion, this is about my chart, but I promise you, you're not going to get far. The second that you switch your thinking to how can I change other people's lives? How can I help this girl pay for her diapers? How can I help this girl pay for her road trip she wants to go on? I tell you guys this, and I want you to hear this, and I you know, I speak for myself, but I'd like to think that the leaders would be with me on this. But at the end of the day, you guys, we want nothing more than to see you on the white couch. We want nothing more than to see you go ambassador and cross things off your dream list and all of these things. But we can't teach you certain things until you're going through it. I can't really teach you how to handle someone quitting until it's happened, and now I'm talking you through how to handle it. I can't really teach you how to handle drama with your ruby leg that's on your emerald that you need for diamond until you've gone through it, until we're working through it. And so I just encourage all of you guys to take these tips and be open-minded and ask that your business becomes a flowing river, and that you have people joining your team consistently, and you have people that, you know what, maybe it doesn't work out, and that's okay. I can tell you right now, my upline, when she signed me up, did not know if I was going to be a $100 bonus or I was going to be her presidential leg for ambassador. She had no clue. But she loved me where I was at. She helped me. She's given me grace the same way that every single leader on here has done with you guys. We're doing this for you. We want this for you. We're so excited for you. But we can't build your teams for you. We can't teach you, you know, how to be your leader. I want you guys to understand, my team does not need another Allie. This universe does not need another Allie. It doesn't need another Christy. It doesn't need another Hope. It doesn't need another Whitney. It doesn't need another Casey. It doesn't need another Haley. I want to know what you bring to your team. I want to know what type of leadership you bring to the people that have trusted you to spend $99 and join you. I want to know what you bring to the table as a leader. Like they said, I've had a lot of jobs too. Not any manager that I had was the same, because everybody's different. Everybody's got a different story, a different journey. That's the best part about this business, that we can all be so incredibly different. But in our team chat, we can bring all of our differences together and build our strengths up and help our weaknesses get stronger, you guys. That's the whole point of this. We don't want you to look at me as your leader and be like, oh, I have to be just like Allie and I have to do all these things like Allie does and I have to host a Zoom about chickens like Allie did. No, please, please be yourself. Me, anybody, I'm not going to complain if you ask to host a power hour. Please ask to host a power hour. Don't even ask. You know what? Just throw the code in our team chat and let's go. Right? That's what we want for you guys. We want you to step up. We want to allow you guys to find out who you are as leaders the way that we have. But we can't make you take that first step. We can't make you care that much about your team. You have to be willing to say, you know what? I'm doing this. I've got girls. We're doing this together. We're going to figure it out along the way. I'm going to screw up. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to piss people off. I'm going to have people tell me I'm a crappy leader and quit my team. That's going to happen. It is what it is. I'm accepting it, but I'm moving forward. And I can't wait to see my team and where they are 6 months from now, 12 months from now. So I love y'all. I will get this recording up for the morning. I know there's some people that weren't able to hop on. I appreciate you guys getting on. And just, I hope you all take this and run with this. And this is not a training that we're doing for the end of the month. This is a training that is going to help you figure out how to be a leader for the rest of your business. This isn't just a 9 days to promote. No, these are tips that you will take with you to Ambassador Diamond. I pray that over every single one of y'all. So I love you guys, and I will get the recording up and we'll get the link out. Bye, guys.